Hey there, Internet friends. Trevor Starkey here with another episode of What I Feel Like Friday, my Friday show where I sit down and talk about whatever it is I feel like. And today, because it is day 300 of me doing daily videos, I'm going to talk about that and just kind of like reflecting back on these 300 days. If you are new to me in whatever form, day 300 is interesting because prior to doing daily videos, I had done a long stretch of daily writings over at Trevor Trove, where I would write kind of every day. I would write reviews or features, or like when I did Fallout 4 or Stardew Valley, I wrote like stories based on kind of my playtime with those, and kind of wrote, this is what my wanderer is doing, or this is what my farmer is doing on Stardew, and turn them into kind of just little creative writing exercises. But day 300 is when I kind of basically succumbed to burnout in that. I basically took a step back to try and figure out what I wanted to do from there. Because daily writing and publishing, as I was doing, was just, it certainly took a lot. And like I'd been through, an entire relationship in that time, had come and gone, and I just kind of needed to take some time for myself, away from kind of the public view. And so we've hit day 300 yet again, now in this video form. I very much appreciated from the get-go that I set out kind of a schedule this time around, as in like Sundays and Tuesdays ended up being like video game centric. It started out basically Sunday was originally the video game day, where I would do like reviews or whatever. Movie Monday, I appreciate that I've really gotten into into seeing a lot more movies, both seeing more of the kind of superhero genre and big action movies and stuff, and talking about them rather than just kind of letting them, wash over me. But also I've really enjoyed, especially recently, catching some of the, the more Oscar kind of award stuff, that fair. And really, one of my favorite little bits has been going to see like movie party kind of movies over at Alamo Drafthouse here in town. I'm going on Monday. I'm going to see Back to the Future, and that's going to be like exciting for me because it's one of my favorite movies of all time, and I'm going to get to see it, on the big screen, surrounded by a ton of people who also love Back to the Future. So looking forward to that, and that's been, certainly one of the highlights of the Movie Monday kind of series. Tuesdays, kind of starting out, I did the Trevor Performs the Drop series on Tuesdays, where I was basically just like going through the PlayStation blog and saying like, here's all the games that are coming out, and doing them in my little like, voice acting or movie theater voice or trailer voice or whatever, or just if the game called for a different kind of accent, I was doing it in that style. But I kind of very quickly got burnt out by that, so I ended up turning Tuesday into just another, generic gaming day. So Sundays and Tuesdays kind of ended up being that, where I would talk about video games, which is what I had done for, at least 300 days prior, back when I was just writing about video games, back before I kind of expanded in this video realm. Wrestling Wednesday, it's been fun getting back into to wrestling. Having attended events last year, that was a ton of fun. Even though I have yet to win in a prediction battle with my friend Cameron, I love that we kind of have this standing date to go the day of every pay-per-view, and catch up, and I just buy him Portillo's pretty much all the time. It's been a lot of fun, just kind of making these wild predictions, but also giving me some kind of like anchor point to actually get out of my house and go hang out with somebody. That's been very, very rewarding, personally. TV Thursday has been a lot of fun, although I admittedly, like, TV is probably the one kind of element of this pop culture area that I've kind of just been slipping away from in the 300 days that I've been doing this. I go and it's like some of my early episodes were about Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and Flash, and I just haven't even bothered to go back to those shows this season. I've just been really kind of not watching too much in the way of TV, so, that there's been a good chunk of, well, I don't know what I haven't watched anything new, so I'm going to go ahead and just run through 5 of my favorite episodes of X season of Parks and Rec. So that's probably the one that takes the most toll out of me in terms of I just don't really want to be doing TV Thursday at this point, but I don't necessarily know what I have to kind of replace it at the moment. And it does come in handy. I'm sure I'm going to watch Jessica Jones this season, or this weekend. So I'm sure next weekend I'll have some Jessica Jones to talk about. It's also why I've used kind of Thursdays as when there's a big blockbuster movie, I just sit down and talk about that big blockbuster movie that night, because I go and see a Thursday night screening and basically say, hey, it's a special Thursday night edition of Movie Monday. So that's been also a nice little compromise, I guess, for myself. These Friday posts, what I feel like Fridays, have been some of the most personal, and some of the ones I'm proudest of, but also oftentimes the toughest one. I think I talked about this in one of the videos, that these are the ones where I'm because it's the one that doesn't have a formula to it. It is talk about whatever I want to talk about. I end up oftentimes getting paralyzed by oh, well, I could talk about this or this or this, or just sometimes not really knowing what I want to talk about. A lot of times I just kind of get to the end of the work week and I'm just I don't know what I want to talk about. I don't know what's really floating around up here. I just kind of want to crash and enjoy my weekend. So yays and boos for this what I feel like Friday. The anime and comics on Saturday, I never really landed on a really good, fun, catchy title outside of AC Discovery or AC Saturday Anime Comics. That's been surprisingly fun. As the kind of elements that I'd never really gotten into in pop culture, anime and comics, I've enjoyed diving into them. A handful of comics runs I've enjoyed. I'm loving Invincible right now, and the run I'm doing that. As I tweeted out earlier today, I was up until 5 in the morning reading Invincible last night. So that's been a lot of fun. I really enjoyed My Hero Academia. I really enjoyed the first 2/3 of Death Note, maybe, before I thought that one kind of fell by the wayside. But yeah, I've been enjoying kind of exposing myself to those unfamiliar realms of pop culture. And then we're back to Sunday. We're talking about video games. It's been a lot of fun. There have definitely been a lot of trying times as well. I posted, I think, in one of these videos a few weeks ago that I didn't know if I was going to make it this far. I definitely kind of hit a point where I don't necessarily have the drive. It's interesting because after doing this for 300 days, I feel like I'm flying by the seat of my pants now more than ever. Just in terms of this project, but also just in terms of life in general. In my personal life, I don't have much going on, so that's unsettling and upsetting for me. It very much is I enjoy the pop culture things that I'm doing and do this video, and then I'm at work, and that's about it. And so part of that is because of all the time I have to commit to this, or that I've kind of forced myself to commit to this, I don't have much time for a personal life outside of that. And so it's either that or I'm too afraid to go and commit to a personal life, so I instead bury myself in this project. I don't know. I'm sure there's a field day to be had in my mental state around that. But that's kind of where I'm at right now. 300 days. Thank you if you've caught any of them in this long journey. Just like a few weeks ago, I don't know. It it could end at any point. I'm gonna keep going, at least for the time being. If for no other reason that I'm excited to continue talking about Invincible for a little bit. I'm excited to talk about Back to the Future on Monday. Yeah, that's where I'm at. I'm excited to get around to WrestleMania shortly on the wrestling side of things. We're nearing that tentpole event. But yeah, let me know what you've thought about this project in the comments below, I guess, or on Twitter. As always, I've been your host, Trevor Starkey from TrevorTrove.com. You can follow me at SnarkyStarkey on Twitter. From here at the Trove, judge your friends.